Hi, I'm going to attempt to show you how to measure your beads for Cymbalta. Please excuse the amateurness of this video. So, first thing, you need to have all your equipment with you. This scale I purchased on Amazon, and you can message me for a link to that. Then I also, even though I may not need them, I went ahead and bought these on Amazon, and they are the clear vegetarian pills, and they're the size 0. So the empty pills come in different sizes, and I found that the zeros were big enough for me to use with my fingers, with my arthritis, and so this is what I bought. Then the other thing that absolutely do not even try to attempt this project without some type of funnel. I got a box of these on Amazon. They look like this. I only use one at a time, but they came in a whole box. These are crucial, and you need to get the right size. So I did a lot of, because the end of it has to fit inside the size 0 capsule or whatever capsule you're using. So if you're going to use the size 0, then you can go ahead and get these from my link. Otherwise, you're going to have to find a funnel that fits your capsule. So then you have your bottle of Cymbalta prescription. Excuse me. And then I have a 1 tablespoon metal measuring thing. This is what I put the capsules in. It's deep enough to where the capsules don't bounce out super bad. So this is where I kind of put my excess beads, and I'll show you how to do that. The last thing you need is a piece of foil. So I will show you what this foil does. Is we're going to fold it so that it holds the end of a capsule in it. Because what you're going to do is you're going to put the end of a capsule in there, and you're going to put a funnel inside the capsule. And when you measure your beads, and we'll go through all this, it's just the end, then I'll go back to the beginning. After you measure your beads, you're going to pick it up and you're going to dump them in the funnel, and you're going to take the funnel out, and inside you will have your beads, and then you could put the lid of your capsule on. Okay, so that's what we're doing today. So starting from the beginning, we have all the supplies, but I need to show you kind of how, and there's not a rhyme or reason on how to make one of these. I've just played around with it. So I'm going to undo this one and show you, let's see, I'm going to undo this one and show you how I did it. So I just took a piece of foil, and I folded it, because I don't like the ends to cut me. So what I did is let me unfold the whole thing. So we'll just start over. Bear with me. Grab a cup of coffee. Okay, so I took a piece of foil like this, and mine is heavy duty, so it can cut me pretty easily. So I just folded it in half because I don't like the sharp edges. So I folded it in half. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You saw what we're trying to do is just make a little hole in the middle, but we're not going to puncture it. We're going to use folds to make this, and then I'll get a close-up of it. So I basically folded the edges to make a little holder for my pill. Okay, so folded it in half, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these ends down, because again, I don't like the sharp creases. Okay, now what I'm going to do, and again, this is where there's no rhyme or reason to it. You can play around with it, but I basically took and put my finger kind of in the middle to do where the middle is, okay? And then I folded these ends kind of in and up, okay? So in and up. I don't know if you can see that very good. I'm so sorry that this is not a good video. Okay, so I'm going to fold it in and then up. So I basically have a very crude representation. And if you guys want me to FaceTime you, just message me. I'll give you my phone number. If you guys bug me too much, I'll just block you, so I'm not worried about giving my phone number out. It's kind of hard to do on the video, but I've just basically folded it. And then I took a bottom of a pill. So I'm, of course, using the size 0. And I just took the pill and put it in between the folds and just crinkled around it, okay? So you just kind of massage the foil to, let me move this. And I have a pair of denim jeans here because if the beads do spill on my granite, they're kind of hard to see, so that it's easier to see on a piece of dark denim. So I just crumple this around. And again, it's very crude, but at least it holds the pill. And you have to have something to hold the pill because unless, I mean, I have mild tremor, so I can't hold this still and pour and all this stuff. So I put this in here. Hopefully all these things will go away after I'm off of Cymbalta, but put that in there. And then I just keep these. I have a Ziploc bag that I keep my scale in, my funnels, my extra capsules, and I just put these in there in my measuring spoon, and I even keep the bottles in, and then I just store this in the pantry, and every 2 weeks I pull this out to measure my Cymbalta. So going back to this, I hope that was somewhat clear, but any way that you can get a pill to be held up straight, and I'll kind of show you, because what I did is I just took those ends, pushed them together, and creased around it. Just kind of creased around it. Okay, and it holds it really nice, and then I can put the funnel in. Okay, so if you haven't already taken your average measurement and done your calculation, this is the second part of the video. So go ahead and do the measurements first, or I will put out another video on how to do the initial measurements. But on mine, when I first measured it, I came up with the number, I put it in that calculation. And today I am supposed to be measuring to 0.24. I'm sorry, 0.124. So I'm just going to show you how I measure 2 weeks worth at 0.124. So I took my scale out and I opened it up and I set it down and I turned it on and I put it to grams. So if you don't know how to do that, the little display, you just hit mode until a G pops up. And then I gotta turn it sideways. So once the G pops up, what I do is I put I calibrate it. So I take this is a 1 gram weight, and I just put it on there just to make sure that it's a 10 gram weight. See, this is very amateur, but at least I know that my scale is calibrated properly. So then I just take the weight off and put it back in, and now I know I'm starting from 0. So my scale came with this little cup, and what I do is I place the cup, turn the scale on, place the cup onto the scale, and hit TARE, okay? That zeroes it out to make it feel like that cup, it doesn't weigh anything. So now I'm at 0 grams on my scale. It's on, and my measuring cup is there. Now I take a Cymbalta from my capsule. Mine are green and white, and I'm going to put it into a clear one so I know which ones are final. So here's my clear one that's empty. I'm going to put this to the side. Here's my green and white one that's got the Cymbalta in there, and here's my tablespoon. So I'm going to carefully open it up, and this is where they sometimes jump. So I like to open it up over the tablespoon. I use my finger to pick up any excess and put them back in. If that doesn't work, you can wet your finger, or heck, you're the one taking the Cymbalta, lick your finger. I mean, heck, we'll do what we need to. But we're going to carefully open up, and you kind of have to pinch it a little bit without breaking it. And then the green side is shorter than the white. I'm going to take the green off, and you can see that some already spilled. And I'm going to pour them. You can either pour them in the tablespoon or directly onto the measuring cup. Now, while I was talking to you, this completely shut off. So I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to hit TARE again. And now it's set to 0. And I'm going to gently pour in to 0.124. Now, there's no way that I can with my arthritis and my tremors, get exactly to 0.124. So what happens is you pour in, see, I've already gone over, okay? And then I'm gonna pour the rest into my tablespoon. And of course, some fell out. You can see some. So I'm gonna take my finger, pick it up, there it is, and I'm gonna just put them into my tablespoon. Okay, so on my scale, I have 0.171, but I want to get to 0.124. So I'm just gonna put my finger in, and you see them falling everywhere. I'm just gonna let them grab onto my finger or lick my finger and take out some. Look how many stuck to my wet finger. And keep doing this until I get to 0.124. And you see they're everywhere now. Okay? You get better at this. I'm just being kind of rushed because I don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so I'm at 0.122. I have a few on my finger. I'm gonna put, there it goes. It's 0.124 now. Okay, so now I have some in here. Those are my excess. And my correct, whoops, it went to 1.126. I'm gonna take one. Okay, 0.122. Added one, 124. Okay, so now I have, you know, my little foil thing that I did, and I opened up a veggie cap, and I put the bottom in here, and then I take my funnel, and there's nothing in it. I made sure from the last measurement it's cleared out, and I put it inside the capsule, and then I pick this up. It has a little handle on it, and you can see my mild tremor shaking, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to dump them into the funnel. And I'm going to just carefully make sure that all of them get in. Okay, so now there's none on my cup. And I'm going to carefully pull the funnel out. I pulled this out of the foil so I can show you, because you don't want any to be stuck at the end of the foil. So you can kind of tap it, look in the foil, make sure there's nothing in there before you pull it out. Voila, I have 0.124 in my capsule. I'm gonna put this on. And then what I do is I have a baggie, and I put the measurement in there, 0.124, and I put the date, and I count out 14 of these. And so when I get to 14, and then you can see on mine that I've scratched out. So I was at 0.131 last week. So I'm gonna take a Sharpie, and I'm gonna mark that out, and I'm gonna mark out the date. I'm gonna put 0.124, because I like to reuse the baggies. No sense in wasting them. And I'm gonna put the date, and then I'm gonna fill this baggie up with 14 of these. And when I get down to the last few, then I'm gonna come back out to the kitchen and measure more. So that's how I did one. Now you'll see I have a lot of excess beads. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lick my finger, I'm gonna pick them up with my finger, and I'm just gonna dump them into this tablespoon. And after I do about, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 8 of these or whatever, I'm gonna have enough in here to make an entirely new capsule. And so that's where the extra capsules come in, or I can use the ones that my Cymbalta came in. What I also do is, let's say I'm at the end, I've measured the 14 out. I just want to show you something. Then what I do is I never, ever, ever take any of these capsules from in here and put them in my mouth. So I can just take the excess from here. It's not measured, it's just a random amount, store them in a capsule, put them back in my Cymbalta thing. I'm gonna measure it out anyway on my scale, so I don't care how many are in here right now, because I've already done my first measurements, which were my first 3 pills from this giant bottle. I took an average, I multiplied it by 95%, I got my calculation. So I really don't care how much are in these pills anymore, because I know I just need to go to 0.12 for these 2 weeks, and then in 2 weeks, I need to drop down to the next measurement. Anyway, so I'll put the excess in one of these and throw it in here, and just make sure that I measure everything out before I ever put one of these pills in my mouth. And that is how I do it, folks. When I was counting pills, I thought I was gonna lose my mind. I was banging my head against the wall. So I hope that is helpful. I promise you that I'll sit here and watch not CNN, I don't like CNN, but I'll watch ABC News or something and just sit here and do this for, 30 minutes and get my 14 days. And then I'm done for 14 days. So hope this helps. Sorry for that it's amateur, but if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.